My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Natalia,
And I'm Sky.
and we're trying something a little different today. Now, this one's got a little bit of a limited, repeatability, to be honest, but I think we could do it a couple times if people enjoy this format.
I think so.
And I know what I'm going to title it, so I don't think that'll even give away too much what we're doing if you just clicked on the title. So basically, we needed a topic for this week.
Mhm.
And we were like, what would be an easy but fun to talk about and also fun to listen to topic? Now, the way that we thought about this, and by we, I will admit, I tend not to give myself little pats on the back, but I did come up with this topic, and I'm very happy for myself because I thought it was good. So we've been watching dramas for quite a while. Now, people who don't know us may not know, but I've been watching Korean dramas since 2012. So it's been a while.
I'm on my 10-year anniversary this year. I
Mhm.
started in 2016.
Mhm.
So.
And Sky's not too far behind.
I was like 2017, 2018-ish.
Yeah.
And the dramas that we watched when we first started watching dramas are a far cry from the dramas that are produced today. However,
And the
there
amount
are-
that was available.
yeah, and the amount that was available. So it's like we were
Mhm.
limited by what we could watch. And so what we enjoyed, we were like, may be different than what we would enjoy now. Like we might not rate things or continue watching things that we would
Right.
watch due to simply them being the only things around. So the idea was we would go back and watch the first couple episodes, sort of like a first look type deal of a drama that we liked from back when we first started watching dramas to
Mhm.
see if we would still keep watching it today. And that's what we're going to do today. We each picked a drama that we remember liking and then watch the first couple episodes. So we're going to tell you what the drama's about and then say, did you remember any of what happened in the first couple episodes? And then would you keep watching it today? If you're like me and have no recall for things a lot of the time, it's like what when a show that you watched 10 years ago, you watch it again, it's like you're watching it for the first time.
Right? Some parts
over
are very
again, right?
fresh. And you're like, wow.
Yeah, some parts you're like, okay, yeah, okay, it's coming back to me, but a lot of it, maybe not so much. And so you have to decide, would I keep watching this now? And that's just what we're doing today. And so I don't think this is going to be one of our longest episodes ever. That'll be at the end of the month with our what we're watching as per usual. But I just thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a rewind and look back at some older dramas. And
this is something I've done this a couple times just for funsies, over the past handful of years. I'll be like, I remember liking that drama. I don't know if I can recommend it. Can I recommend that to people truly now? And so then I have to take current me and go revisit that, fully watch the drama if I still was having fun with it. And be like, oh, it really, there was a growth arc. This wasn't an irredeemable character,
Yeah.
what is the context of this? So, and that doesn't mean that I would go back and be like, I hate this drama, but you really do have to know in the context of current you and your preferences and how you discuss dramas.
Would you still be interested?
Would you be interested, or would this ever be something that you would hey,
or would
people should check it out or not?
Or are we going to go with what was wrong with me 10 years ago that I thought this was...
It was one of the 5 dramas that were available.
They were available, and so I watched it.
Right? I had a list, and I'm looking, and I'm going, not available, not available, not available. And then there was some that it was I'm going to just stop myself right there and say, no, I wouldn't watch this.
Probably not. Not.
I can't make myself sit down and rewatch it for 2 episodes. Probably no. That. What I'm remembering of it, and maybe it would hold up, and maybe other people would still love it. But I'm looking at it going, I don't want to even just rewatch 1 episode. So I probably know what I'm going to say about that one. So I'll look for something else and I might have more conversation.
And for me, like, I had a lot of beloved ones that I was like, there's no point in me checking because, like, I totally would.
You already know.
Like, so, like, but something like Heartstrings, you know, like, that's like,
you're like, was that did I actually like it?
Was that narratively a good thing? Like, let's think about that. Well, the music was good. I'll tell you that.
I can contest to that the music in Heartstrings is still good today.
Are there fun scenes? Sure.
But is it
a fun
Who
show?
knows? But Amanda, let's take us through it. So what show did you watch and what did you originally rate it? I think this is an interesting
I didn't check that.
question.
I should double check that. Let me see. Okay, so I originally rated this 8 stars on my drama list. So, you know, not the top, but like very, very watchable.
That's very good. That's a very enjoyable show. It's 8 out of 10.
Exactly. So this is School 2017. The
classic.
Not most recent, but at the time, most recent in the series of school series. There's like School 2013 and there's a bunch of them. Anyway, these have been for many years. These shows were like an opportunity for fresh faces to get their acting chops and you know, lots and lots of people that especially if you're new to dramas, like a lot of these people got started in a school show and then like moved on. So this is starring Kim Sejong, who anybody listening probably knows from, you know, everything. Brewing Love, Business
She's got so many crazy
like Uncanny Counter. She's done a lot. This would be the first thing I ever saw her in. I'm not certain it's the first thing she ever did, but close. Like this was sort of what got, and you can tell when you go back, it's like, okay, this is earlier in her acting. She's playing a teenager and some of it's directing choices and some of it is she doesn't maybe have the chops that she has now a decade later, which most people grow mature in their craft. It makes sense, right? She is starring opposite Kim Jong-hyun, who people know from things like Welcome to Waikiki and Mr. Queen, Crash Landing on You. Like, again, he's everywhere now, but back in the day, it was sort of fresh. Jang Dong-yoon is in it, Solina, Park Se-won, So Ji-hoon, Ro-woon is in it for a couple of episodes. Yeah. Like, there's
it's got like everyone
back in the day.
Everybody. So if you are a fan of an actor or actress who's in their late 20s, early 30s, there's a good chance they showed up in this episode somewhere in an episode. So the basic premise of this show is it is a high school series. Our main characters are both, they don't rank well at school. They're like ranked in like 280 and 288 out of like 300 students in the school or something, or in their grade or whatever. And the difference is she is poor and she's a great artist, but she can't afford any of the like academies and stuff, and she just doesn't really care. She wants to draw. She's got her head in the clouds. She's not all that interested in trying to study. Like, she just honestly, watching it now, I'm like, the ADHD is strong with this character. Like, she clearly is just, you know, she's struggling, but she's very kind and she is fun. And then the boy who ranks even lower than her, he is on the opposite end of things. He's actually quite smart. He is the son of the guy who, like, the superintendent of the school, or the guy who owns the school or whatever, right? So he hates his dad, and he hates how
typical
everything is run in this school. Like they add more and more and more exams for ranking purposes, and it's like just killing these kids inside because they're either struggling to keep their grades or they're just giving up. Like her best friend in it has already decided, like, I'm never going to college. I can't afford it. I don't have the grades for it. It's never going to happen. I will just like, I'm going to drop out and do my, like, after I've done whatever I need to do, I'm going to drop out and take courses to, like, for civil service or whatever, because like that's the best I can do. And it's rough. And so this guy just, he hates it. He hates the school. He hates his dad. He hates everything. So he intentionally does poorly just to make his dad look bad. So
classic teenage rebellion.
Right. So I forgot going into it. I forgot what the main plot was. I was like, okay, it's about high school. I remember that. I remember that there's a romance between these two main characters. And wow, like he is in it to win it, like right from the start. Like the very first episode, it's very clear. He is so smitten with her, and like he seems like this typical sort of cold, rich Chable character in some ways, but he is so clearly into her and like does all these little things to help her out and stuff very frequently. And you're like, okay, I see. He's not cold and mean to her. So you're like, okay, cool. I like it. But there's a whole sort of, there's a plot about how the school is like murdering these children's souls from within. But also there is this secret hero of the students who is pulling these pranks and doing stuff that is driving the administration absolutely insane, but it's great for the kids. So like they add this random set of exams, midterm exams or whatever, that it's like, we just did midterms 2 weeks ago. Why are we doing more all of the sudden again? Well, because it makes us look good and whatever, right? In the middle of these exams, all of the like fire alarms go off and the sprinkler system goes off. And like the kids are just dancing in the hallways because we don't have to take this test. Woohoo! And then they bring in a police officer comes in to try and figure out what's
seems
going
excessive,
on.
But okay.
Yeah, right. So she's great in it. She's very lovely. There is a young teacher who is on the side of the students, and he's always trying to like speak up for the students, but getting like slammed down by the older teachers. And he has an immediate crush on this female police officer. She gets in trouble at one point because she kicks the crap out of the school bullies, who are girls. Like it's a group of girls that she finds beating up 3-on-1 another girl. So she kicks their butts and is like, well, you weren't very good at 3-on-1 and you're also not good at, 1-on-3. So like, maybe don't do that anymore. Yeah, I went into it and I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure that this is something that I would pick up again because I don't watch a lot of high school dramas anymore. I've sort of moved past moved on. Yeah. But when I started watching it, I got really into it immediately. Like I was like, oh yeah, like I forgot about that. I like this. This is interesting. Is the acting from everybody perfect? No, they're all like young 18, 20-year-olds doing their thing. They're all very good actors and actresses. Like they are good in this. I'm not saying it's bad acting. I'm just saying
it's young acting. Yeah.
They have all grown as actors and actresses. But the story is good. I remember that it's kind of intense, but not it's not intense in that way where sometimes the high school stuff that you get now it goes real deep into the bullying, and it's really hard to watch.
It can get dark
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah. And while there is like some school bullies and some bullying plot lines, that's not what the show is about. The show is about the administration and how the administration is breaking the spirits of the students, and the students are starting to find ways to fight back and to support each other, and to not, like, that's kind of the vibe, is like, even with like the bullies and stuff, it's like, no, like, stop this. We should be banding together against the teachers. We should not be banding against each other, because we didn't do this to each other. We aren't the ones who are putting ourselves in this position. It's the grown-ups in our lives who are putting us in this position, and they shouldn't be doing this to us. We're 18. We shouldn't be broken already. We shouldn't have no hope for the future already. And it's a good one. And I'm remembering, as I'm watching it, remembering more and more, oh, there's going to be this, and then this part of the plot's going to come up, and and there's like Jang Dong-yoon's character is like the smartest kid in the school, but he's also from a poor family, so he can't afford to go to all of the different stuff. So he makes money like tutoring other kids in the class and stuff. But like, there's just a lot of very well thought out characters. They're not all cookie cutter. They're not all, you're not going to be like, oh, yeah, it's a high school show, and here's this character, here's this character, here's this. Like, they're all individuals. They all have interesting stories. It was good. I definitely, I'm considering continuing to watch it right now, but it's the only places I can find it right now. It's on Viki and it's on Kokowa. You can watch the first 2 episodes for free. I don't currently have a membership to either of those places right now, so like I have to make a decision about how much I want to finish it, rewatching. Is it worth $10 to me or whatever? But in general, I mean, if you think it sounds interesting and you are like, oh, I like those actors, I'm interested in one, go check it out. You can check it out for free on Viki and Kokowa. You can watch the first 2 episodes for free. So, I mean, you can't beat free. But yeah, I think it does hold up. The main thing I remember about watching it back in the day is that it was in the early days of when Viki had the Kokowa pass, like when Kokowa had just opened, and they like had that, the 2-tier system and everything. And I just remember
when they started to get complicated about
furious, because it was like, you get, you're paying extra for the Kokowa pass so that you could watch the show. And
but it wasn't
like
subbed
4 or 5 days later, and there's still no subs, and you're like, but it's subbed on Kokowa, so why am I paying you extra?
Why are we doing
this? I could be watching it over there already. I could have watched it 4 days ago over there for the same price.
Much less like I don't know Kokowa's. The assumption is that Kokowa pays their subbers, right? Like, that's the assumption that we have, versus what we know now about the way Viki does their stuff. From what we've heard, it's like, that's kind of a pay your subbers.
And I get one of the benefits with Kokowa is that because they're the actual like producers of the shows or whatever, before it airs, they can be getting down to the subbing and stuff, right? Like, so it usually takes, I think the show will come out at like 9 a.m. here, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's got its subs. And like, okay, cool. But that is not always the case over at the old Viki. So
no.
I just remember that being a real struggle. I feel like it was on during the summer or something, and it was like, I want that next episode, and I want it right now. And it's the 2 episodes a week, and the second episode has come out, and you still haven't subbed the first episode, and like, what are we doing? So
why are you doing this to us? Why?
So that's the big benefit of just discovering the show now, is that it is all subbed. So you do not have to wait. You can just go binge away to your heart's content. And
you can just go enjoy yourselves.
If you're interested in checking out some of your favorite actors and actresses when they were young, or if you're, think a high school story without a ton of like intense bullying or violence is maybe a good time. I was reminded of a lot of things like watching it, that I learned a lot about the high school system when I watched this show, and like some of the stuff that is different between high school here and high school in Korea, and the way that stuff gets done there. So like, also, if you're new and you sometimes it's valuable to check out stuff like this and have a better, sense of the differences between what you're used to and what the Korean viewers would, what their experience of high school would be. So, so yeah, 2 thumbs up. I would definitely check this out again. I would, if I started watching it now, which I might not have, I would keep watching it.
So, okay. The one that I picked, that was like, I didn't have to go through a list. I knew immediately which one I was curious about. And that was the 2011 drama, The Greatest Love.
Okay.
First, straight up, when I first watched it back, I think in 2012, 2013, I did give it an 8 out of 10. So I genuinely, which is good for me. That means I genuinely really liked this drama. And I still to this day remember very sparse aspects of this drama, because the main character, played by Cha Sung-won, was such a like memorable character.
Yeah.
That to this day, I did not remember what the plot of this drama was. I did not remember like the setup or anything. I just remember that he was so memorable and at being a very 2011 male lead. Right? That is an important statement, that if you weren't watching dramas from that era, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you were, you know what I'm talking about.
You know that
we'll
vibe.
explain it. So the basic plot of this drama is that there's this girl, and she was part of a very popular girl group called Treasure Girls. Okay. And at the height of their popularity, coincidentally, the male lead was getting heart surgery. Okay, because their number one song was called like Heartbeat or something. Like it was, something about heartbeats or like something like that. And the surgeon operating on him was playing this album while he operated. This is like, for some reason, an important plot point of this show. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then the actual show takes place 10 years after this. And Treasure Girls had disbanded really early, and she had gotten blamed for it, even though it's pretty obvious to anyone watching, though, as of like 2 episodes in, they have not gone into why they disbanded, but she was blamed for it. Okay.
But you can tell she doesn't have the...
No, she's just like the nicest, sweetest little...
She wouldn't have done.
And she's played by Kang Hyo-jin, who at the time was really making a career out of playing women who bad things happen to them, but it's not their fault. Like just unfortunate, bad
Sweet
luck.
beans going through a bad time.
Bad luck ladies. And that was like her bread and butter. And this was really like, this was the one. Also, for anyone curious, this is an early Hong Sisters drama. So, and if you don't know about the Hong Sisters, they're sort of infamous now, but at the time, they were the ones coming up with the tropes that have become K-drama tropes since then. So this was an early show that is sort of an inception point for so many of the tropes that people roll their eyes at today. So in 10 years in the future, he is like a very popular actor and he wants to break into Hollywood. And he's been like cozying up to this director, but the director doesn't want him because he doesn't speak English well enough. And he has just made a movie, and the movie sucks. Okay, the movie's bad, and he knows it's bad, and he's pissed at how bad it is, right? Because, you know, he did a lot of work into it. And through this, she's like a C-list celebrity who is like trying to like stay relevant by like going on whatever variety show, whatever. And they have a run-in involving a very ugly designer scarf. And as soon as they have this run-in and this sort of like misunderstanding between them, her career starts taking off because people are like, oh, like she's friends with, his name is Dokojin, and it's so memorable. It's like, oh, she's friends with him. Like, you know, they have all of these run-ins that keep bringing her to popularity, but every time they have a run-in, something bad happens to him, and everything that, and like, so he's like on the downward while she's going on the upward, and so like they can't really. And his in the middle.
His comedic timing is so
incredible. Oh, it's incredible. So he's so good. Like Cha Sung-won is so good, and like he's an asshole, but you can already tell that like he's not as bad as some of these characters, these male leads from the time. Because like, for example, like one of the things that she calls him during a show, and then like a quiz show, like a sort of like a phone a friend type deal, and he actually like picks up and he does like participate, but the clues she gives him are what sort of reveals that he didn't get this like Hollywood deal. Oh. And so like, but he's so hyped up at like helping her on the show that he only realizes after, because like he had sent the premise is he had sent this American director a $17,000 bottle of wine, and one of the clues that she needs him to guess is the word grape. And so she says like, what you sent to the director? And he's like, wine. And she's like, what is it made out of? Grapes. And then so like he's all hyped, like explaining this, and then realizes after, oh shit, no one was supposed to know that I sent this guy. So everyone's like, he sent this guy like wine, and the guy still doesn't want him, because he was gonna phrase it as like, oh, I decided I didn't want to do the movie, like, you know. And so then they get into like a fender bender, and so he's like, this is a perfect opportunity to like be like, oh, I don't have to do the movie if I'm injured. He's not injured at all. So now she looks bad. So she goes to visit him, realizing he's faking it. And she's like, what the hell? Like, all your haters are like coming after me online, and you're just like in this, you know, nothing. He's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. You can take a selfie with me, like giving you the thumbs up, and like post, like, I wrote out this thing you can post on social media. Cause this is like early social media, right? And it's like, so you can say like, oh, we're friends, like no one's holding each other, like, you know, anything. So she's like, yeah, like he might be injured, but he's not holding it against me. And so she's posting it. And while she's posting it, he then gets a call from the director being like, who called his agency being like, oh, like, you know, we felt really bad about what happened. We do want you in the movie. But then the director finds out he's injured and is like, oh, well, you won't be able to fit into the timeline. So I guess you can't be in the movie after all. So he's like, don't post it. Don't post it. And she's like, I just posted it. So like, there's like a constant this, but you can tell like he's definitely pissed at her all the time, but he doesn't really mean it, because she's not doing anything. He's just like, stay away from me. Like, I need you to just like stay away from me. But like at one point, like her little brother gets, like his little kid gets her phone and calls him and is doing like his own version of the quiz. And he's just like playing along with the kid. And then she's like, why would you? He was like, he just kept asking. Like, I just kept playing along. You can tell he's not like a total a-hole, but he's also a total a-hole. And then meanwhile, there's like a subplot involving like another member of her group that had really come out on top after their group disbanded, who's doing like a dating show, and is like, because she's now on the ups, is like, okay, like you should come be in my dating show, even though we're like enemies, one-way enemies. Like the main girl doesn't consider her an enemy. She doesn't consider anyone an enemy, right? And then there's this like traditional medicine doctor who's going to be the second male lead, you know, and all this. Anyway, these first 2 episodes were a friggin' delight. All right? Like, I was having so much fun rewatching it that I may just continue rewatching it. Though I did also start Pursuit of Jade, so I may finish that first before I continue rewatching.
Two completely different vibes.
Two completely different energies. I'm on like episode 16 of that, so I'm like, the energy's wildly different.
You 2 days, you'll be done. It'll be fine.
But like, despite the fact that this is so 2011, like, if someone wrote his character not in a vertical drama, in like a regular drama, he would be the villain. For real, like he would not be who they're presenting as. He's so toxic and terrible, but like in a very fun sort of way that you're just like, yeah, I love it. Yeah, he's a dick. Yeah.
That era of K-drama, like
there was a line. There was like a really thin line where it was like the male, like some of these male leads were walking like a real thin line between
a real tightrope.
We are fine with you being the male lead, and you're just the biggest piece of shit we've ever seen. And he's striding along, he's moonwalking along that line.
And the thing is, like nowadays, if you have a lead, even slightly similar to that, you're gonna have like growth, right?
Yeah,
you were not guaranteed much growth.
Like I think I vaguely remember he does actually have a growth arc.
He does humble himself some.
Yeah, like he's not terrible. Like there's male leads in this era who are just absolute dicks whole time.
Secret Garden.
Yeah.
But is it fun?
It's still fun. But like this one, like, and also the second male lead, this was the inception of all of these tropes where the second male lead is like the kindest, sweetest, like anyone would pick him. But yet somehow throughout the machinations, it's gonna be Dogo Jin. You know what I mean?
Like, which one of these dudes is actually safe?
Not Dogo Jin. That's like it's definitely the sweet, kindly, traditional medicine doctor whose mom wants him to get married so bad, and he's just like, nah. I'm gonna go to China and like farm medicinal ingredients. And she's like, you're a disappointment to me, son. I think like the reason why I enjoyed it so much is that it is like watching a much better made vertical drama. Because it's like you've got this like, like this over the top, like kind of almost douchebag. Like there's like a few moments where I'm like, that wouldn't fly in today's dramas. No, sorry, Bob. But it's like when you think about it, like, yeah, this drama came out 15 years ago. You're like, what a wildly different time dramas were then, huh?
Truly.
Very.
And then it's there's like the subplot with him with every time he sees her, his heart starts beating because of like the song that played during surgery. I'm like, this is so fun. He's got like a little watch that like monitors his I'm like, this is great. I will probably keep like I think a lot of people who maybe have never even heard of this because they've only started watching dramas like in 2020, which a lot of people did, which is great. This would never even like pass their radar because like it doesn't star any of like the current hot actors that have come out since then. Like it's very much of its era, but like I think that's fun. You know what I mean?
I thought it was fun, kind of a glimpse into like the entertainment world a little bit, because you're kind of like backstage at these variety shows and just kind of how this stuff functions. I'm not saying it's realistic by any means, but it's just, again, if you're kind of if you haven't watched any dramas that kind of show that, I kind of like that setting sometimes, especially if you're newer to kind of learning about that stuff. Like it kind of helps you, all these people are at the same like building doing all this stuff. Like, wow, they would run into each other possibly. Like that actually can happen. Like, so it's kind of interesting.
And it's just, it's really just fun. Like her manager, who's also her brother, is played by Jung Joon Ha, who's like a comedian who was like at the time this came out was really big in the variety game, and he's not as much anymore. And it's just like it's so fun seeing all of these actors that like I used to watch all the time, but like they're just not as active anymore because
it's kind of a nice little time capsule.
Yeah, and it's like the it's solid. Like the acting is solid, the filmmaking is solid. Amusingly enough, also directed by the director of Warm and Cozy, which is like Sky and mine's least favorite drama of that era. But like it's fun. Like it's, like
speaking of no arc to a
speaking of bad male leads, like that one we don't recommend. But like this one, I think a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. It's on Cocoa, which is where I saw it. It did say it was on Viki, but I think when I signed into Viki, it said no, it's not.
There's a lot of times when it's like,
it's not available in my region. But it is on Cocoa, which is where I was watching it, and it's fun. It's just a fun show. Like it looks like it's from 2011. Don't get it twisted. You're not like, oh, what a timeless, like, oh, this could be made today. No, it really, the characters would have to be so wildly different. Like the plot could be made today. The characters, no.
Like even her character would be like much stronger. Like, she would
much
be
much less of a steamrolled. Because like she is so
really bad.
People are so mean to her, and it's just like she's just like vibing, man. She's just doing her best. But I really enjoyed it.
Like sometimes people when they're talking to new fans of K-drama, they'll be like, you have to watch this and you have to watch this and you have to, because you need to have the background. You have to have, you got to watch whatever, Boys Over Flowers or whatever. And I don't think that's true of any dramas. There are no old dramas that you have to watch in order to be a fan.
But you might appreciate
but sometimes it's nice to have, to be like, hey, from that era, this one is kind of watchable. Okay, you don't like
this one. It has
dirtbag male lead. This one you might be able to stand, and it will give you.
Listen, he sucks
of that past,
but he doesn't suck quite as much as other male leads. But he's still don't get it twisted. He still sucks, but like just not quite as much. And I think that it's fun to watch this one purely because it is like an earlier Hong Sisters drama, which does show like the inception point of so many like tropes that are still being used and like people rolling their eyes at today. But at the time, they weren't, old standbys yet. They weren't tropes as quite as much as they are now. So it's fun. Anyway, I those first 2 episodes were bangers. Like I was like, yeah, this is great. I will definitely be. It still got it. Because I like even when I started watching it, my husband was like, "Oh, Dogo Jin?" Like he remembered. And he didn't even watch it with me.
I watched it a couple of years ago because I was doing our little challenge of like starting from whatever year. So
this was your 2011
I remember so vividly because I watched it just a couple of years ago. It was fun.
Yeah. So Sky, what drama did you revisit?
So I rewatched Love Around. It's 2 words, Love Around.
Yeah,
I remember this one.
So it is a Taiwanese drama. And back in the day, it was on Netflix. Like, so that because my first brushes with Asian dramas were on Netflix and they were Taiwanese dramas. That's what I started with. And so Love Around was probably around my 3rd or 4th-ish drama, probably. I can't remember the exact timeline of some of that stuff. But because I was doing a lot of concurrent watching too, so it's really hard to plot it all out. But so 2013, starring Annie Chen and George Hu, which, by the way, they got married in 2023.
They did indeed.
So that's cute. I went and tried to find a wedding picture. Of course, it was their like drama wedding pictures from back. I'm like, no, I want to like
the real thing.
I wanted to see a real wedding picture, guys. Couldn't find one.
We support your love, please.
Real love, not necessarily. So that's kind of why I thought it'd be fun to revisit, because I remember like because I think I watched this one and then they did another show. Let me look at I didn't go back.
The other one
of this. Okay, so Love Now.
Oh yeah,
was 2012. 2013 was Love Around. So Love Now.
They loved them together so much that they did 2 similarly named shows. But I actually remember this one, the plot of this one, and I don't really remember the plot of the other one.
So like visually, it sticks in your head. The poster,
different.
Like the polka dots.
So just to give context, Love Now, the first one they were in together, 72 episodes, much more of like a family soapy drama. Like he ran a bathroom company. Do you remember this at all?
I remember. Okay, it wasn't that the one where like she thinks that she's dying.
She truly thought she had cancer and that she was dying.
But her like friends scammed her.
Yeah, like, but then since she got in whatever situation, she had to keep lying about. Like, it was all it was this very long. I remember watching it being like, all right, let's get this a move on. Like, this is getting a bit much. It was more, you had the parents around. So, I mean, it was, of course, a whole different vibe than what we're doing with Love Around. Love Around is, and so I will say about the poster, since we just mentioned that. Poster shows a Dalmatian, and then our leads here are wearing polka dot black and white stuff, and then behind them is like polka dots of pink and purple. So like it's just does this pertain to like literally anything? No.
They were vibing, man. They were just
the opening sequence, like, as far as they do have this poster thing in the opening sequence, it's pretty much showing they're both heartbroken characters. And so it's like they see the world in black and white because they're both heartbroken. But then like, oh, are they seeing color again? That's kind of the vibe you're trying to do. As far as, did we need to put it on the poster? No, because no one's colorblind. That's not really what we're doing. It's fine. So Love Around, all I remember is that it was cute. And I don't rate things, so I don't have a rating for it. I'm sure it was 10 because I rated anything I really liked 10 at the time.
I feel like I've moved on.
I completed it. It was a 10. Like, yep.
Yeah.
Well, so again, this was my 3rd or 4th Taiwanese drama that I was watching. And I was just being blown away at the time by like the emotion that gets portrayed within Asian dramas, like out of the gate quite often. We're talking about feelings, which like, I'm not saying no Western shows do that, okay? But it's a different take. Really different take. So Love Around, what happens is you have this flashback thing going on where you see him and his girlfriend, and they're being like, he's giving her a watch for it's his birthday, but he wants to have a couple watches, and it's this cute thing. So like, it's showing what their relationship was, but then in present time, they're broken up. And he is still not over that because he keeps calling the radio station, requesting this specific song, dedicating it to his ex. And it's this sad love song. And our lead gal is the DJ who
she's like, dude,
it's been 2 weeks of you like calling the same song to the same lady. Like, she was very nice. Like, she kind of said some extra stuff like, I hope you're okay, buddy. Kind of like,
seems like you're going through it.
And so even her coworkers afterwards were like, why did you say that extra stuff? It's like, well, he seems sad, doesn't he?
It's like, because I'm a compassionate person, damn it. Like, what do you want from me? This man is struggling.
So then, shenanigans, essentially, she gets off work, she has to go, it's her boyfriend's birthday. Oh, what am I gonna buy him? I'm gonna get this baseball bat that's autographed.
Oh yeah.
And at this place is also batting cages. He's there venting off steam because it's his birthday and he's heartbroken and he's still upset about that. And she is there, oh, you can't buy this bat, you have to win it. Well, she just sucks. Like, she keeps getting hit with the ball at this batting cage thing. Anyway, begs him because he's good at batting. Can you please win this thing for me? Because you obviously would. I mean, they had a run-in even before that. I don't want to get into the weeds of stuff. Essentially, they had an argument because he had reserved 2 spots on either side of him, a spot on either side of him, because he didn't want people near him because he's that way. He's a little privileged. I'll get to that in a second. But like, And she's very righteous indignation type person. So she's like, dude, you shouldn't do that. There's limited resources here. Don't even, like that type of thing. And he does not care. It's not like he's touched it anyway. He's like, get out of my face. Bye. Anyway, he sees her getting hit with all those baseballs. He's like, fine. I will do this thing for you. Shenanigans happen. Shenanigans keep happening. He pays for the cab to leave, all this stuff. He works at a hotel, helps run the hotel. So she's at the hotel trying to pay him back for the cab because she was on the phone when he had left and she felt bad. Like it's this whole like she's trying to be nice. They keep trying to be nice to each other. He's trying to get away, be nice. Like he's trying to be unattached nice. She's clingy nice. And he's like, no, like leave me alone. So she begs the cab driver, like, can you please go back to the hotel so I can pay this dude back? Fine. Gets there. She sees her boyfriend that's supposed to, be out eating with her tonight for his birthday, all this stuff. And she said he said he would work late. He's with a girl at the hotel and she sees him walk into their room. So she does not let that go. She, of course, has a run-in with that. And does our main guy like see that occurring? He does. And he totally punches this guy in the face. And it's very lovely.
Deserved. Yes.
And so blah blah blah. Even this is all the same day. Like this is the same handful of hours, okay? And she's like, and she is upset. So they have this whole upset thing where they talk about they're both heartbroken, all these things, and he's not talking a lot, but he's trying to be like, you're gonna be fine. And she goes, but will we ever love other people again? He's like, I don't know. Because I don't feel so hot either. Well, I have this reservation. Can you please so they go use the birthday reservation. And the cake comes out. Hey, it's your birthday. Like, here's this birthday cake. And they open it up. It's the ex's face on the birthday cake.
Stab it with your...
They did. He totally... So and she's like apologizing profusely. And he's just like, whatever. And he takes a knife and he stabs the middle of it. And so then she's like, she gets that vibe. She's like, yeah. And so then she's like mutilating this cake. Anyway, they have
good energy.
There's a lot to get into. I can't get in the weeds with this. Essentially, they have a nice night of fast friends of being heartbroken people together, essentially, and him just trying to make sure she gets home. That's all he's trying to do. Shit happens. I can't get into all of it, but I'm trying to think of what to say. Things just keep happening between them, and he does not really want to be involved, but she is a little bit more clingy, but in a nice way. But what you also firmly get is he is from a family. His dad used to be a gangster. He quit being a gangster 10 years ago.
This is what I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
He quit being a gangster 10 years ago, but he's still... He doesn't necessarily want these dudes following him around all the time, but he ended up somewhere and all these guys line up, chairman, doing the whole salute stuff. And he's like, guys, we can't keep doing this. You need to stop because you're scaring everyone in the hospital. We cannot keep doing this. So they try to keep on the down low the whole, because they get looked at a certain way. And that's been a whole thing about our lead guy. He supposedly was broken up with because his ex said, I can't, all my friends would just look at me a certain way if they knew your family's past. And so that's on top of all of his heartbreak. It's related to his heartbreak. Well, so our lead gal is from a police officer family.
Classic capers. This is the only plot point I remembered about the show.
I think it's the main plot point of the show. And we see very quickly, I think it might be the second episode, but we see, she had a brother that passed seemingly tragically, and someone has been putting flowers on the grave, and they get really upset about that. Obviously, whoever was somehow involved is trying to make amends, and they're not accepting that amends for some reason. And her dad's super strict with curfews and stuff because nothing good happens after 10 p.m. type thing, all this stuff. So
beg to disagree, sir.
No, out and about it. So I can't get into the weeds of like, essentially they keep having run-ins, these two main characters, and he keeps like kind of just not wanting to be involved. But the reality is they're both in the same boat. So they kind of just keep being like, how you doing with your heartbreak? You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I love the friend vibe that like happens. It's not this insta love thing, because that's not what we're about with stuff. Now he does protect her a couple of times, because that's the way these dramas do. And as far as, of course, he has really good fighting skills since he was raised in a mafia family.
Yeah.
But
right.
So I just remember like they end up being really cute later on, but the first 2 episodes is really them just becoming friends, and she is really clingy and he's just not. But he eventually just kind of like, whatever, man.
Accepts it.
Like,
yep. And he's like, I guess this is how it is now, baby girl. Let's go.
Well, and he ends up saying so despite the fact that he's kind of more quiet, he ends up saying things near the end of the 2nd episode that are like, because she's like, I just don't feel like, it's like the 2nd or 3rd day after the breakup. Like, this has not been a long time.
Yeah.
And she's just, I don't feel like anything will get better. And you'll find somebody
who's not
you deserve. And she's like, how do you know that? Because you're a woman who deserves to be loved. Like, you are a good person. And she's just like, and it's not a lovey thing. It's a
nice thing. He's just a nice guy with emotional intelligence. That's what we like to see.
Right.
All right. Is that a crime?
So what I remember what I liked about these characters was her character is kind of more sunshiny, positive. But she also does the whole like justice. Like, she's all about if she sees something going wrong, she's gonna verbally go after that. And his character is more, he's kind of standoffish, but like once he warms up, he's a teddy bear type. So like those types of characters are good together. They just are.
They are.
I remember what I remember about this show is I just liked those characters together a lot, because they were just warm together out of the gate. And I think that's why when I was starting off of watching these Taiwanese dramas, I was like, we're talking about feelings in episode 1, not in a insta love way, in a heartbreak way. And then specifically what I liked, what it kind of made me have a realization. So as she was at the hotel and she just got her heart broken, all this stuff, and she's like storming out after being pushed down to the ground by her ex and all this stuff, he follows her, and so they're sitting there talking outside, and they see a couple far away and they're fighting. And so she starts like voiceovering what she thinks they're saying to each other, but kind of putting her own experience in it a little bit. And without really missing a beat much, he starts playing along by like, he then voices what the guy would say in response, but also putting his own experiences in it too, like his heartbreak stuff in it. So essentially they had this like bit going kind of for no apparent reason. And there was no formal like, hey, do this voiceover with me thing. It was very, they just kind of flowed and kind of riffed for a second, but in a cathartic way. It's very hard to explain. But I was like, and not, oh, you guys are falling in love, but like, oh, you guys are going to be friends. Because if you just insta riff with somebody, like you guys are complementary, like you vibe well together. And so it made me realize I really like that in characters. And even if it isn't a romantic thing, even if it's just friends, if you see characters that riff and and kind of have a bit, and then it's like, oh, they can complement each other. So I thought that was pretty cute. I really recommend it. It's on Viki. No other George Hu drama on Viki, but that one is. I had a whole George Hu moment because
I did too.
Who didn't? Come on.
Listen, I even watched Hayati the Combat Butler, which is not a good show. But I was like,
I remember trying to look that up somewhere at the time.
I will watch it anyway. And that, listen, it was It was even harder to find not easily found shows back then too, and I was like, "I'm gonna put in the work here. I'm gonna do it."
So I recommend it. I cannot remember the plot points other than like obviously the broad strokes of the two kind of competing family types. You see, they're gonna, like you see that that's gonna happen. I don't remember. The only other thing that was obvious in like the second episode was since she's all this like justice warrior thing, there was a listener submitted thing. It was a picture of his dad. Like, and she had this, so she went on air, like, and she had been on air before ripping into him because he throws his weight around to like rent out a restaurant just because he wants to eat lunch by himself. Well, guess what? A normie was wanting to propose to his girlfriend that day. And so it totally ruined this person's proposal. So she's like ripping into this guy. And so you see his dad like listening to the radio and getting real mad. And he's a funny character. So like they also kind of play it for laughs too. But he's like, and so he said to his accountant or whoever, he's like, you have a month to let me buy out that radio station because I'm not okay with it. So like he's not happy.
Okay.
So like
that's
you eventually see that there's going to be that like there's going to be
that's
that machination happening too.
Like the radio station and the sort of workplace romance aspect of it or something. And like, we have to save the radio station or whatever. So, okay.
Right.
Cool.
I remember that. And then I remember the gangster thing. That was it. That was all. And I remember they were very cute together.
Well, and then there's also, they have a grandma character. His grandma lives with them. And she plays mobile games all the time.
Classic.
Like
Classic.
And she evidently like has heart disease or whatever. And it'll be like, Grandma, you can't play games and like have a drink and expect to be like you. So he's kind of the heavy of his family. Like all his sister, his dad, his grandma, they're all like kind of flighty people. And he's like, guys, you need to keep it together. Like, don't give grandma a drink. Don't let her play games for 7 hours. Like, don't. Like, she's gonna keel over.
Grandma, I need you to focus.
I need you to focus. He's a more serious character. And then our lead gal, she is not really that serious. I mean, she's heartbroken, but like she's kind of silly. So they're complementary. I remember that. I don't remember the trajectory. Really, I remembered the first 2 episodes. I remembered that they were both heartbroken people. I don't remember what happens with their romance at all. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they end up together.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And then in real life, they ended up together. So there you go.
Spoiler alert! I think they might end up together in the rom-com drama.
I also remember another tidbit. I don't want to spoil, but I feel like his ex-girlfriend actually was going blind. I feel like that was a plot point, but like hid it from him, and that's actually why she broke up. Like that's another thing I vaguely remembered, but
who knows? Who knows? So you'd watch it. You'd keep watching it.
Probably if I wasn't solidly busy with a lot of other dramas that I'm really intrigued with, but I wouldn't put it past me to periodically pick up a couple more episodes here and there whenever I feel a vibe, because it is pretty fun. And I remember being so enamored with this show. Like, now, do I think that a modern drama watcher would be as enamored with the show as I was at the time when I first... I don't think that people are going to, like, fall as deeply in love with it as I was at the time. And, of course, when I watch it, I'm having nostalgia, too. So I know that. But he's not a jerk male lead, I'll tell you that.
No,
like, out of the gate, he's pretty caring.
He's no Joko Jin, that's for sure. That's for sure. He's a nice guy. He's a modern man, all right? A modern lead that women like.
And, one thing I also want to say was, because of the gangster, like, the gangster family has money. They are moneyed. And that's why, he can rent out the batting cages on both sides of him. and his dad rents out a whole restaurant. And then his sister is very, very bratty with that type of thing too. Like, she was swimming in the hotel pool with no one else in it, and like 5 maids standing there waiting on her hand and foot.
Yeah.
And he comes in and like gets onto her.
He's like, hey man, that's excessive. That's excessive.
But as he was doing that, it showed him he was remembering what our lead gal said about his batting cage thing and how he was like, I did it. Like, so we love a self-aware king.
He learns.
So I do recommend it if you want a good 2013 vibe.
This is the one.
Taiwanese dramas were
good.
Back then, though.
They were
like,
really
they were
hidden.
The rom-coms were like delicious.
They were good.
There were also a handful of other ones that I was really into at the time, but since then the lead actor has been shown to be not a good person, so I couldn't revisit those in the same manner that I used to. So
that sours the experience.
There was a couple that I was like, oh well, I really loved. No. Oh, but I loved it. Oh no, because I don't want to have to talk about that person. So we'll just find something else to talk about this week.
Now, one thing I really, so there's a character at the radio station of this show, and he's like a way tertiary character, and I doubt that he's really going to be around all that much, except for just the workplace stuff. So there's a guy who's also one of the radio hosts, and his show's like struggling a little bit, but he is portrayed slightly effeminately. And there was even kind of a joke made about like someone kind of implied that maybe he was gay, and he's like, I'm just a gentleman, I'm not gay. And then he like flipped his bangs a certain way. And I was like, I don't remember this at all. And it wasn't,
like, I don't remember this aspect of what's going on here. Like,
so it made me curious. I'm like, do we have a gay character that we're just implying? Like, I was like, because at some point when someone was saying, oh, she must have a boyfriend or something, and he goes, man, I'm jealous or whatever. And well, you can get a boyfriend too. And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, wait, I guess I'm not supposed to say that way. So that was the joke. It wasn't really at his expense or something, but it made me go, do we have a gay character? Like, so it made me curious. Like, if I end up rewatching, I'm going to see if that character, gets portrayed that way. I couldn't quite tell what we were doing, but made me curious. I do recommend for any, if people are curious about George Hu and Annie Chen, I really think that you should.
This is the one.
Yeah.
So what I will say is what I remember, the main thing I remember about Love Around and Love Now, they had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
Like,
such good chemistry that they got married in real life. Yeah. It was good chemistry. The chemistry was clearly, we weren't imagining it,
And I was going to make the disclaimer. I do not know if they've shared like when they started dating in real life. Like, I don't know any of that. So I wasn't going to float that out. Like, I don't know. Right. But I will say they did get married in 2023. That is the one thing I do know. So yeah, check it out. See why we love these two, this actor and actress. Cause like,
we do. We do.
Yeah.
It was a vibe back then. It
truly was
very much
delicious.
And if I had to pick one between Love Now and Love Around, I would pick Love Around. I even remember that at the time.
I also remember that, like, between the two being like, nah, this one's the better one.
Like, if you're gonna watch one, and I remember watching Love Around and saying to somebody I was gonna watch the other one, and they were like, you probably don't need to. You've already had the experience of falling in love.
Looking for.
That's what you want. Like, you're fine. And I was like, okay. And I went on and watched something else,
But back then, so like, since there were so fewer dramas available.
Yes.
Of like, so like I was looking for Taiwanese specifically on Netflix, so like that really drills you down to a certain thing. And so I do think I watched Love Around first. I really think it's the first one I watched. But since I fell in love with this couple, I was like, oh yeah, give me the next one. I think I didn't even know that it was going to be 72 episodes. Like I definitely was not learned in the soapy family drama-esque stuff. And I wondered why it was so different.
Well, and
it's a different genre, my friend.
And Netflix used to do a really weird thing with the Taiwanese dramas where they're like 72 episodes, but they were like, no, that's not right. So they'd like want it to be 50
Combine 'em.
episodes or something. So they'd like cut them funny.
Cut
and
it
you were
weird,
like,
yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't know what to say on my drama list. I'm trying to keep track of what episode I'm on, but like, I have run out of episodes. Like, I don't, what?
And that does remind me of one thing about Taiwanese dramas that I haven't watched a Taiwanese drama in a while, and I don't even know if newer ones do this as much as the older ones do. But man, you remember all those commercial break cuts where they always have the theme song?
It's sort of like the Full Metal Alchemist joke for anyone who's familiar with Full Metal Alchemist. When they would have cuts, it would go Full Metal Alchemist, and then you would cut back and be Full Metal Alchemist. But it was literally that energy, but with the theme song.
Yeah, and it'll be, you know, whatever
no commercial there.
Film.
So it's like, here's the outro for the commercial.
It's a straight,
and then we're gonna come back
an intro, and then immediately intro back into the show. Yeah, okay, it's fun. It's you know, it's of a time
where even if you're binging just 2 episodes, it's like, wow, I heard that theme song a lot.
Yeah,
11 billion
which it wasn't bad, so it's fine.
Which, I mean, but when I was, I think my first,
you know,
was
when you're watching.
She and you're like, okay, I'll listen to this a couple more times.
All right, no, behind your smile, I'll watch that opening credit sequence every single time because I hate to say this because I did actually enjoy the show. The opening credit sequence is the best part of that show. For anyone who's unfamiliar, just go watch the opening credit sequence. You don't actually need to watch the show, but the opening credit sequence to Behind Your Smile will tell you nothing about the show you're about to watch. It is unrelated entirely.
Whereas the closing credit sequence of Love Around is pretty much like, and they did this sometimes too, like, here, we're going to give you the whole
show.
Like, it's not clips from the show. It's a whole, like,
timeline. It's a montage of the entire show.
Yeah, like, we're going to do a little montage, a little skit. We're doing a skit that still shows, here's that watch that's from, you know, like,
yeah,
we're gonna include all, you're heartbroken, I'm heartbroken, we are here.
That I have been watching a C-drama or a Taiwanese drama, and like a character will come in an outfit, and I'm like, they're gonna kiss in this episode because I know that that's the dress.
Because you saw it in the credits. Yeah. It was a real like epidemic of Chinese dramas and Taiwanese dramas that would just tell you the whole show in the opening credits. And I was like, you got it. I'd be like, you got to skip those opening credits. Don't even watch them once.
Like, at least if it's the end credits, you can like go, oh, nope, shoom. But
yeah, skip. No, the opening,
it's hard to
get
skip until you, yeah.
Anywho, this was fun. I really enjoyed revisiting these episodes, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing about us revisiting them. We'll be back next week with another episode. I don't even remember what episode we're doing next week, but I'm sure it'll be fun. And we hope that you hang out with us then. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to listen to us in audio, we're wherever podcasts can be found. But if you want to watch on video, we are on YouTube and video. And if you want to switch between both and also see links to everything that we're doing, you can go to our website, certifiednoonas.com, where every episode has a post that does have the audio and the video versions that you can watch from there as well if you so desire. And if you want to support this podcast, you go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas to join the Found family. They're our fan family on the web who really have been supporting us for 7 years. We love you guys. You're the best. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week, as I said. And as always, wash your hands and wear a mask and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.